it is really important for us to see that even though glorification is the final step in God's organic salvation, glorification isn't the goal. All of God's organic salvation is for building up. In other words, all of this process of God's complete salvation, God's redeeming us on the judicial side, God's justifying us, God's organic salvation through regeneration, through sanctification, renewing, transformation, confirmation, glorification, it is all for the building up of the church. And this is described in Ephesians chapter 4, verses 15 and 16. But holding to truth in love, we may grow up into him in all things, who is the head, Christ. So that's describing our organic salvation, out from whom all the body, being joined together and being knit together through every joint of the rich supply, and through the operation and the measure of each one part, causes the growth of the body unto the building up of itself in love. So our receiving God's organic salvation, actually our receiving God's complete salvation, is for the sake of the building up of the body. It's for our growth of the body. Building up, the building up of the church as the body of Christ is by us, the God men who are being sanctified, being transformed, being conformed to the image of Christ. It's by our being joined and knit together with other believers, with other God men in the divine life. And through all of our growth together in the divine life, we're being built up. And this building is also, it's a matter of knitting. It's a matter of being joined together. So in our experiencing God's organic salvation, we get the Lord dispensed into us. But that's not just for us to enjoy ourselves on our own. Rather, we should minister what we enjoy of Christ to one another. And as we have more of God dispensed into us and we flow him out into others, we minister to him to others, we get built up together with the other believers and knit together. And how does this happen? It's through the operation in the measure of each one part. That means every single one of us needs to function. Every single one of us needs to open up our mouths and release our spirit and share something of Christ in order to cause the growth of the body unto the building up of itself in love. It's also through the Spirit that knits us all together. So as we're growing in the Lord, as we're functioning to minister to one another, the Spirit is joining us and knitting us together. This building up of the body of Christ in the New Testament, it's by our being joined and knit together. And ultimately, this building of the body of Christ will consummate in the building of the holy city, New Jerusalem. New Jerusalem is just the ultimate sign or figure at the end of the Bible to show us God is being expressed and glorified through his people who have been completely saved, judicially, organically, and they've gone through this process of sanctification, renewing, transformation, confirmation, glorification, and built up together as one body to express him to the whole universe for eternity.